Chat, no, no. So it is to the printing press, to the recorder of man's deeds, the keeper of his conscience, the courier of his news, that we look for strength and assistance. Without debate, without criticism, no administration and no country can succeed, and no republic can survive. Fight for what's right. Fight for your life.
Brother.
Airborne Patriots, good evening. Good evening.
Yes. How are all the Patriots and the mods doing? Doing a little evening show here. I haven't done one in a while. Feels good. Ooh, I see a lot of the mods. Always Amy, Face. I think I saw Grillin. Danielle.
We're all on board, I believe.
Yeah, Danielle Bird's in the house. We are going live. I had a little hiccup. I hit the button. I don't know if it alerted some of you, and then I hit it again to stop it, and then we got set up. So you might have got a false alert. You might have been able to join. My bad. But I was wanting to put in the Periscope and Twitter account. So right now I think we're live on Twitter and Periscope, whatever that is. And just to start messing with some of these other things, Woodman, I gotta keep pushing forward. So
we're trying.
Yes,
we're trying.
Those of you that don't know, we took another little. They went like 2 months back. Earlier this morning, like at 3 a.m, I woke up to an alert that there was another community violation for hate speech on the Building 7 that I did around 9/11.
The bad guy. Bad guy. You are a bad guy, Michael.
Yes.
For showing the real thing from God. That was months ago, bro.
Well, we got to know that this is expected. This was coming. This is no surprise. We can't act surprised.
I knew we had a warning, and then all of a sudden the strike come up. You know.
Yeah, and it's not a copyright or anything, folks. It's community. All right, so they're going back in old videos and just saying this is hate speech. And I said, please tell me where, because literally, if I could show you the video, you guys must have seen it. It had 50,000 views. It was a couple months ago, but it was just showing Building 7 go down. And we all know not anybody died in Building 7 because it fell so late in the afternoon. So there was nothing about death. There was nothing about planes because no plane hit it. And it was basically an article that I had read and then kind of talked about that, as you know, I'm talking about, there's a new college that's opening up something into Building 7, and they're taking like people's anything you have for the rest of this year. So it was actually an article really talking about colleges and this Building 7, and they said it was hate speech. So didn't really call anybody out in it, didn't say anything in this video. So it was pretty amazing. Just so you guys know where we're at with that. So the Patriot Hour is kind of down right now. There's like a 7-day, I can't even post a video. So we'll see what happens. But I'm glad that everyone's here right now, and we're of course been using this, and we're looking at other options. So never one to put all of our eggs in one basket. When this started, and Ben would remember this conversation, that I was like, I got a video, I just got to put it to a platform. Ended up jumping on YouTube real quick. Of course, it's the one that pops in your head. Everyone's on it. It's on most devices. So anything else would have been foolish to kind of start off. But I always said, we'll do this real quick, get this going, and then in the next couple months, we'll take these other steps. You know, so there's all kinds of options. But
well, look where you're at now, Mike. You know, you and Ben done a great job.
Accomplished our mission for sure. We just wanted to talk, get the word out, so this could all go away and be done, and I'd be no more than happy. But that's not the case. With everything set up here, this was the hard part: getting the mics and the software and the everything dialed in to be able to have you come in so quick, and then us to jump out. That'll never be able to go away. I wouldn't want it But if we had to start over just like we did when we started, it would be no issue. We'd pick another platform, pop up over there. It'd be a lot better from the get-go than what we were starting on this, because I had to learn everything. So if anyone never had seen us and just saw the first, wow, these are pretty good for what, 2 episodes out, and they seem to have it down. Well, there's experience now. So
there you go. Hang in there.
Awesome. Yes, you guys stick with us.
Yet, everybody.
Yeah, you'll be able to find us.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
we're not done.
So
we're on it, man. Hot on the trail, always, forever.
So there are reports buzzing. I've been looking into it a little bit. And hey, you know, there's a lot coming out this week. I think YouTube took the opportunity to be like, man, I want to shut down some of these channels that might be all over this stuff, because there's going to be some stuff coming out Friday. I don't have the main YouTube page to get that information out, so I'll do it over here. I'll do it wherever. But Adam Schiff, this anonymous whistleblower, may not even exist. It's starting to be the little buzz. I'm starting to pick up on some things, doing a little combing of the internet. So let's keep an ear out on that. Adam Schiff's anonymous whistleblower may not even exist, folks. This is a contrived
behind closed doors.
It's a, you know, we want to meet with the whistleblower alone. They burst in there and it's just a blow up doll sitting in a chair. And what the heck, you know?
Come on, man. Behind closed doors. I don't. Wrong. I don't care how you cut the cake. My word, man. It's hilarious, people. Keep your popcorn ready, man. This stuff is like, it's coming out. Little crumbs. Wang, 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 wang. Stay alert. Stay alert. Watch faithfully, people, because, you know, the fake news won't give it to you. Dig like we do, or listen to us, or watch us. I'm not saying we're perfect, not by any means at all. Don't take it the wrong way. But boy, this is what an opportunity to share these crumbs, as we call them, love crumbs or info crumbs. People need to hear this because they don't hear it on real news. It's a shame. It's a shame. It's a shame. But we're not going to stop to. I'm sorry, we're not. We're veterans, man, and we're all fellow patriots, and we love you. We're just going to keep this going. No matter what avenue we have to go down, we're going to keep it up. We're going to keep going. You have to, because you have to keep the truth out there continually. I can't stress that enough. I can't. You have to keep it out there, because what you hear on your normal news is so far-fetched. It's not even, you know, it's hard to fathom it.
It's beyond that now, Woodman. We just got shown this whole week, and I don't think people are. I don't think it hits them like it should. But man, CNN is 100%. We've known it, but they're scripted, and we've said that they're scripted. And here we got the boss of the company putting out a script every day, and that should wake people up big time. Camera, audio, video, everything, both. Give me a break. It's the whole thing. Bang. You know, that's why they have that little GoFundMe thing for that gentleman that blew the whistle, because he's not going to get another reporting job. No, he's done doing that forever. But unless he starts his own thing.
Look what he sacrificed. You know.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah, that's a different kind of. He surrendered his life, people. Honestly, really, it was worth it to him to get it out. There's more coming, actually, by the way. So hang on tight, because this stuff is for real. It's like on footage. like I said, both audio and visual, man, and you can't lie about that.
No,
These
I
people
agree.
are getting, yeah, they're losing. They're losing pretty quick because uh, the sad thing is, be very open-minded here, people. Imagine everything you believed in for your whole life ended up being fake. I mean, really think about that. Let's be open-minded here. I myself was, I used to watch news. I went by that until I started digging, and it turned me around real hard. So, but people, they have pride in what they believe in, and they've seen it all their life. What they see on the news, the news. Well, since I've got involved in this stuff, I realized just how much the news was fake.
Yeah, you've been hearing
Wow,
that fake news. You've been hearing fake news, but you just kind of took it to be like, yeah, of course. But,
well,
the way that news stays relevant to people, folks, is in your local areas. You might know the lady that I went to high school with her. She's not a fake person. It's not that. It's They have a teleprompter to read from. They do their job. They're not part of it. It's really just a system, but they, and you get your real news. They're going to show you local things. Like tomorrow, there's the fair going on, and then you got the Blueberry Festival over here, and by the way, it's going to rain. And then you can go out tomorrow, you're going to see the festival, you're going to see the rain, and you're like, wow, they're incredible, they're good.
Right.
And that's how they get you, because they give you a lot of truth. They have to. And then the things that matter, they can obscure. It's sometimes just a little twist of it. I mean, heck, yesterday with all that talking, that Kamala Harris up on stage, and she went into leave women alone, and we're a majority here in the U.S. There's more women than men, I guess, and went on about not touching us and leave our bodies and let us decide. And I mean, there's all kinds of other issues other than what she was screaming. It was a pretty good piece they let her do, but they didn't script it in for any counter punches on the question. That Jeff Zager, he had it all scripted out, and there was not going to be any follow-up question, which would have been nice. Script. It's a script. You heard the one person get into something else, like, well, we're going to be getting into that later on. We don't want that brought up right now. And it's like, well, geez, this is a debate, and that's where it went, and you guys are really controlling the narrative. But whatever. So, I mean, that's, and a lot of people never do it, Woodman. They don't have the time. They like getting spoon-fed things. The world's a better place hearing what sounds good and what's good for their head, Some of the truth would make their head spin. Like you said, the lies do.
I did no wrong, and my son did no wrong. End of conversation.
End of story.
We're not talking about. We're not talking about.
That's something else.
I told you. What I tell you? Don't. That's like the old phrase when the old people talk about it. Don't do as I do. Do as I say.
Yeah. Not 1 cent. Not 1 cent. So his son goes on yesterday morning on that talk show and admits to it was kind of a bad thing, or I shouldn't have done it, And then Biden on the convention, Joe, says nothing was wrong. He did nothing. But yet he was apologizing. And like we talked about, what is wrong there? But he did say he didn't get 1 cent in his interview. Hunter Biden tells ABC News he received no money, but his bank records are telling a different story.
Well, I think really why they done that from his home was because he's trying to get used to being on house arrest.
Getting used to a house arrest, huh? Not 1 cent. Hunter Biden tells ABC News he received no money from China, but his bank records are telling a different story.
I'm gonna say it, man. He's a Biden. He's gonna lie right to your face.
Right,
like father, like son. Come on, man.
So on Tuesday,
your sons aren't like that.
No, they're not. On Tuesday's radio program, Glenn Beck, Stu, his partner Stu, and the chief researcher Jason talked about Hunter Biden's interview on Good Morning America Tuesday, during which the former vice president's son denied any wrongdoing in his business dealings with either the Ukraine or China. So in this clip they got down below, Glenn noted Hunter's intentional misleading semantics, pointing out Hunter's company, which he co-owned with Devin Archer, and Christopher Hines, which we know is former Secretary of State John Kerry's stepson, would actually have received the funds. So Jason questioned how ABC News or Robot could conduct a credible interview without so much as mentioning financial records from Morgan Stanley that show numerous transfers of funds from any anonymous LLCs in the Ukraine, China, and elsewhere going directly into Hunter Biden's account. So journalists looked through the Morgan Stanley records and they found that the anonymous LLCs were coming from China and Ukraine, going directly into Hunter Biden's account, his own account, directly into it. So there you go. We have Morgan Stanley files.
Directly into it. Isn't that the wording? Directly into it.
So there you go. That ABC was just a hoax. She came over and they're like, we'll talk. I mean, she had hit him one time hard, and they were like, we got to hit him hard that way we don't look like we're soft. But she hit him hard on like drug abuse. Well, you've multiple addiction problems. Could you say it a little nicer? He said to her, and they kind of got into it over her going into his drug stuff, and that was their hard hit, but not over the financial records. Like, by the way, you're saying no money, but we see differently. And he kind of got into saying he didn't have to talk about his money and any of that. Like he didn't have to. And maybe that's how other people feel that have to get their stuff, through the courts.
What's really, I hope everybody understands this right here. This is the main point. I hope everybody understands. How does somebody go through being kicked out of the military for cocaine? Now, be open-minded here. Now, they're kicked out of the military for doing cocaine, and then they get this big job in Ukraine on this energy board. Now think about this now. Then all of a sudden, when things get a little whatever, he's not on that anymore. Then he's on a board for China. Now, is everybody awake here? Did you just hear what I said? How do you go from being a known cokehead so bad that you get kicked out of the military for, to going to the top of the ladder in foreign countries and certain agencies? I just don't. I just can't hardly grab that. I just can't. People keep overlooking that fact. I just can't.
That alone, yeah. Like you Biden. What about that?
How do you
present it to Biden? Biden would say, "I did nothing wrong. End of story. You need to be looking at Trump. Yeah. That's who you need to worry about." Yeah. And I mean, that's what you get out of them. So, yeah.
Right. But,
like everyone said,
no kidding, everybody. Really.
And Ben says it as well. It's nepotism at its finest.
Yeah.
Are we going to get if everyone's waiting on Biden to admit that isn't going to come out of his mouth. It's not going to come out of. He's going to keep saying, "I knew nothing about it. I didn't talk to my son." Prove it. If that's the one thing that dials it all in to bust him, that we have to ask Biden and get Biden to admit it, well, we'd have a better chance of Hillary fessing up on her server stuff. I mean, they get into these roles where it's like, "Did you wipe your server?" Microphone, and she's like, "Well, what do you mean, like with a rag?" And I went up to the computer and wiped the dust off. No, she knows what we meant. She's a lawyer. Like you've said, Woodman, she's a lawyer. Right. They know this stuff, so they also know how to play real dumb. And
they all know it. They know what the game is. They know the rules. They know all that stuff.
If
duck and weave.
If that's all true about Hunter, then he spent the last 2 weeks like shaking in his boots, doing up drugs. Finally, they slapped him silly, got him good enough for this interview, which really didn't go over that well.
Well, he went from Ukraine to China. He went from Ukraine to China.
And that's also the two places that he was in charge of. Obama put Biden in charge of those two places. So that's another coinky-dinky.
I mean, come on now. I mean, really. I'm very ignorant, but I think I can kind of catch on to that. I mean, you can't hide that, everybody. You can't hide that. Maybe you're not supposed to be smart enough to add 2 and 2 together. I don't know. All
Well,
I
and it
know
wasn't
is
just Biden; it was Pelosi, it was all these other people. So and it crosses both party lines. This isn't just a Democratic thing. There are some Republicans.
It's a gangbanger.
Yeah,
That's what I call it. A gangbanger, man.
Again, it's got to be.
It's not gonna end, but it'll be stifled heavily in 2020. I firmly believe that. But like Trump said too, he needs 4 more years after that so nobody can dismantle what he's got going. And I hope so. I was talking to a couple that I haven't seen for a long time. And normally in that realm, they'd be anti-Trump. And we had a long talk. They now have the information for our show, Mike, and they will be on board. They're true patriots that have been misguided for years and are finally kind of waking up. And since now that they have something like this to look at, it may broaden our knowledge a little bit more. I think that's really fantastic. And everybody, like, wherever I go, I try to share something. If 100 people share with 10 people each that they know, just think about it. It grows.
Oh, yeah.
But we're here for our own country, everybody. It's not like we're trying to start some kind of organization or whatever. Bull hockey. It's like President Trump says all the time. He serves us, and as a whole, we don't cherish government. We cherish God.
Yeah.
We follow God. Now, I hope people understand that. This is what our country was founded on, our God-given right. It's all written down so we have security later on, like we're going through right now, where we got to prove it. Why do we have to prove it? What did all these people share all their blood for on the battlefield? It sure wasn't for their health, because guess what? Most of them aren't here anymore. So much for their health. This is our country, everybody. Let's take it back. I'm not saying all the Democrats are bad by any means at all, but the agendas they have going on will just tear us apart. We don't need that. Since President Trump's been in office, we're actually bringing positive tariffs into the country, not by the thousands, not by the tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands, and not by the millions, but the billions with a B, which hasn't happened for eons. I mean, like really eons. The country's being turned around. He is draining the swamp. He doesn't do it for anybody else but us. He tells you that. I work for you. I work for you.
Yes, trying to restore everything for us, the American people. So Trump's Keep America Great re-election rally is tomorrow night. It's going to be in Dallas, and that's going to be on Thursday, October 17th. When it was rumored he would announce JFK Jr. as his running mate for 2020 election. It was interesting to note that October 17th is the date of the rally in Dallas, by the way. We've known Q equals 17. So Q, suspected to be JFK Jr., was the 17th letter of the alphabet, plus JFK Jr.'s father, President John F. Kennedy, was born in 1917 and killed in Dallas. So, we want to say some prayers for Trump as well. Something big was rumored to happen on Saturday, October 19th. I've been hearing the buzz. I know a lot of you have as well, and we're not here to push any dates or any conspiracies. I hate doing it. I don't ever try to guess any dates ever. I know there was a whole thing with the Q clock and people trying to really dial in. I was just like, I've just organically let things, whatever. I don't need to be on top of that. But when a buzz is happening, a buzz is happening. So we will mention something here about it. So something big has been rumored to be happening on Saturday, October 19th. Believed to be the beginning of the mass arrest with possible chaos breaking out in some cities. Thousands of elite U.S. Marine troops have been ordered to be activated, I believe, on the 19th of October. So for a national emergency of sorts, who knows? At the end of what was referred to as Red October, the military would be on the high alert with expected major political and economic changes. Disclosures, mass arrests, trials, and tribunals of major figures worldwide. Mass arrests would continue through December of 2019, with completion of the restoration of the U.S. Republic was planned for the end of President's second term in 2024. That was just a little brief collection of things I had put together. But yeah, Dallas tomorrow. Interesting. Dallas.
I won't miss it.
Yeah, no, that'd be...
Yeah, can't miss that. Wow.
So, all right, I think I want to open up the phone calls here if anyone wants to call in.
Oh, yeah.
We'll take a few of those. I will...
You got the number up there yet?
No, I don't. But
I don't.
I will.
202-505-5198. 202-505-5198. Give us a call, and it's evening time. Pretty much everybody's home by now.
Let me...
Mike loves talking to people, by the way, on the phone. He just loves to talk a lot.
Let me see if I can do something here.
Okay. In the meantime, 202-505-5198.
Bottom corner there.
Got her.
Bottom
All
left-hand
right.
corner.
There we go. Thanks, Mike.
Yes.
All right. Yeah. Somebody call and talk to us.
There,
We're lonely.
How do I answer this?
Oh,
wait, I gotta turn something on my phone here. Settings. Call forwarding.
In the works.
Forwarding. There we go.
Be patient.
Now I got my device on. All right, we'll take the next one that comes through on the phone. I didn't have the device on. I do now.
Sorry.
Shut that one down. Phone lit up. Got about 6 calls right there. Just couldn't answer them. It probably wouldn't have worked out too well.
Wow.
So now it should be transferring over, and I'm just getting missed calls like they're headbutting. Sucks when that happens.
Be patient.
Keep
going out.
Here we go, Woodman. Hold on. Pennsylvania, you're on the line. This is Mike and Woodman. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Hey, you guys are hilarious. You're hilarious. Where do you get your information? Off the internet? Off the internet, where everything is true, right? All factual.
Nope.
All
We
factual
go through FOIA request and disclosed information. Declassified stuff.
Why don't you,
where do you get yours from? Where do you get yours from? Where do you get yours from?
Why don't you provide it?
I do. I provide links all the time. Guess what? You can turn the channel anytime, buddy. Anybody forcing you? Do you got a gun to your head? Is there a gun to your head?
You guys,
do you have your own gun to your head? Does he have his own gun to his head? I gotta watch this show. There's a troll. All right, here we got Tennessee. I love it. Tennessee, you're on. What's going on?
Oh, hey, Michael. Hey, Woodman. How
Hey.
are y'all?
How's it going?
Hey.
Oh, I'm definitely coming. My husband and I are definitely coming in August. I got the 14th, 15th, and 16th marked out.
Yes, that is on.
We're coming.
We are
She
so
sounds
excited.
familiar, Mike. She sounds familiar.
Yes, this is
Have you called him
is this
before?
Jeff,
Jonna.
Jonna and Jeff.
It's Jonna. Yeah.
Yep, Jonna and
Berlin.
Jeff.
Yep.
Berlin.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
We are excited,
So-
and we can't wait for you to to see you, to meet you.
Yeah. And so I have my friend who is a music writer who's written tons of music, and I tried to get her to. I'm trying to go through the proper channels but I'm hoping that I get her to come.
That would be awesome.
But I will let y'all know that.
Okay.
So, but anyway, her name's Jessie Alexander, and you can, yeah, she's written tons of music. She wrote "Drive Your Truck."
Oh, okay.
And yeah, so she's pretty. I mean, for a country girl, she's doing pretty good.
Yes, and songwriters are huge. Like I know a good buddy of mine goes down to Key West every year for the Songwriters Fest, and a lot of songwriters come down there. It's like a 4-day event, and it's really, really awesome. So songwriters are.
And plus, she can sing.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, that's the amazing part. And she did a private concert. Kind of a venue that was kind of a barn type venue. We had so much fun, and her husband is he's a writer as well. But I wanted to say one thing. I laughed so hard the other day at Woodman when he was laughing. I can't remember y'all reading the article, and I was just like busting a gut. And I had to get a bunch of funny memes that I got for y'all's computers. I'm sent some today, so you can be looking out for those.
Awesome.
And I got booted from Twitter for, but it was worth it. I would do it again because Meghan McCain, talking all that warmongering, and I told her to take her rear end over there and let her get her limbs shot off and come back and mouth about the war.
Yep. And then they got you
they
for
kicked me off.
Yeah, for
Harassment.
Yep.
But she said what started it. She said Trump supporters that thought that he was doing the right thing by pulling were shameful. So I was like, well, she harassed me. But anyway, I told her she's a warmonger, just like her father. And I told her, my husband said, that's kind of mean. I said, mean? Me? She wants us to send our boys over there and let them come back, all jacked up. But I don't see those people sending their kids down there. I don't see them.
No.
They're only making money off the deal. They're making money, and let's just face it, let's call it what it is.
You are 100% correct.
I lost my brother, and he was a Navy guy, and my older brother got injured really badly. He was still alive. So we do know what it's about.
Oh,
and
yeah. God bless you.
My brother's made sacrifices.
Yes, God bless you,
God
and your family
you.
and your
family.
brothers.
Yeah.
Thank them for their service for us. I had the same thing happen. I got into it with Rosie O'Donnell. I think she about 2 Fridays ago had something like a vote for Trump to be impeached. What do we think about this? And then I had commented something about, well, if you're going to do that, are we fine with hanging? And I had put hanging these traitors, and I named off some people, and then I got blocked for 12 hours. It was my first time ever. I was like, wow. And it was like, you can't excite violence on people that causes harm. And I was like, oh man. So
well, what hypocrisy.
Yeah.
Who spit in a patriot's eye down there? And I mean, those people are the violent people, and they pass this along. And I'm telling you guys, we can't put up with that. We have to stand up. And if I get kicked off Twitter once a week, I just get kicked off Twitter.
Yeah.
Because they are not going to push me around, and I am not putting up with them. We have to stand up for our boys that go over there, and our men, the best people we have in this country, going over there and sacrificing their life. And these people, you know what? The Kurds, just like the president said, they're not our friends. And And I'm just telling you, I'm sick of these warmongers. Democrats used to, when Bush, wanted to go over there and dally for God knows for what reasons. I don't think they were good reasons, but I didn't know back then. But you know what? They were all about no more war, no more war. Well, we have a president that really doesn't want to continue the warmongering scene. They can't stand it. We got to get him out of here. You're going to pay 97% of your taxes, but we're going to get rid of him. No, we're going to get rid of y'all. You're going to be the one hitting the door. And I'm telling you, it was embarrassing last night. It was embarrassing. Every one of them. Did you notice they all said, we got to get rid of him. He's got to go. He is a criminal.
Yeah.
Criminal. Hell, he looks like a Boy Scout that and Mother Teresa. I won't go there, but that's good. But anyway, it just goes on, and I'm just telling you guys, I'm fed up with them. I have more respect for the dirt on the bottom of my feet than I do those people. And you know what? They can't win. They know it. They can't win. They can't win because they aren't running on anything. You can't run on hatred.
No.
You can't run on opposition. I just don't want him. Why don't you want him? Oh, because he's going to call your crimes out. You're all running for the hills because it's either prison or office, and you can't all fit in there. Plus, we don't want you. So that's my.
Awesome.
They're like. They're a nightmare, and they don't care about the people. My husband, because he kind of thinks I'm out there sometimes. I'm just going to be frankly honest. But anyway, he said last night, he said, I looked up. Did you know the Democrats in Senate, they're the richest ones? He named off Blumenthal, all of them yelling the loudest. I said, and one of them had $500 million on a salary of $170,000 a year.
Jeez.
And no, it's the truth. Look it up. You can Google it. I tell him not to Google, but he's stupid. But anyway, I can't help that. But anyway, it's just for the life of Jesus, how in the world that people can't just, like Michael says, do your own research. Don't take what I say as the gospel. The research is right there, folks. We're playing stupid.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, I looked up everything, and I have enough. I could write 14 books on all these criminals.
Yeah.
And one of these days, I'm gonna get it up, and I'm going to give the money to some charity. I don't even want the money. I want these people to go. I'll pay to watch them hang because that's what they deserve. In all reality, they don't deserve to take another breath on this earth. We can send them to Cuba where they would fit right in, or Venezuela, but we really don't want them here. They have nothing to offer us. All right, well, I'm going to let somebody else talk.
All right.
And y'all count me in, and we're coming, and we can't wait.
All right.
And check. I got something coming for you, so be looking out for it.
All right. We appreciate it so much, Jonna. And
you bet. And we love y'all.
Thank
y'all
you, sweetheart.
You're such a hard-working woodman. You keep laughing, buddy, because it makes me laugh even when things are bad. I can listen to that laugh.
All right.
All right.
Well, look.
And thanks for all y'all do.
Thank you. God bless you and the family.
Okay.
Thank you. All
God
right.
bless and Godspeed.
All right.
Bye,
Godspeed.
Thank you.
Well, there you have it. That was awesome.
I'm always going to laugh because Democrats won't be stupid anyway. So, yeah.
We got another call. Oops.
Right.
Dang it.
Oh, missed it.
I hung up on him on accident. Well, anyway, I wanted to get out. That was a great call. Now, the one before it, we don't have enough time. We don't get enough calls to sit there and debate. The guy was asking, where do you get your information from? This is a funny joke. That's fine. We've told you before, do your own research. Now, maybe he was referring to what I just read. Again, I haven't done a solid show on it. I was talking about things buzzing around the internet. All right, there's things buzzing around the internet. We got little apps and agents that'll go out and crawl around the internet and grab the hot topics in the political realm. And I was talking about Dallas, Trump, JFK. These are things that were buzzing. I don't have any fact or proof to show anybody that stuff, but this is a conversation call-in show. But as far as stuff we report on, it's FOIA requested, declassified docs, WikiLeaks, emails showing this person talking to that. I mean, you can dispute it all you want, but that's a majority.
We show you
of,
right there.
Yeah,
we show you
and
right
then,
there.
like I said, here's something buzzing around the internet, folks, coming up in the next few nights, and then I go on to read this little chunk of some things that is buzzing, which are dates, which is Dallas. So anyway, call. We don't care who calls. We'll debate, but if it's just a, we don't have, you're gonna get hung up on pretty quick. We just don't have time for that. I'd rather. I'd still love a question. Debate is a debate, but just to tell us that we're a joke. When you're just calling in,
we're here for Patriots, not
Alabama. You're on the line.
All right.
Hey, this is Stumford Road.
Hey, how's it going?
And I can spit to Tennessee, so I need to find out where John is because I'm in love.
I'm not sure. I know she's
Wonderful
kind of Midwest, I would say, around somewhere in the Midwest, but she's awesome. She is awesome. You've never seen her in the room?
Oh, well, I can't. Huh?
You've never seen her in the room? Like in the chat room?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't know where anybody is except for Amy.
So what do you, how's your night going, and what do you think with, did you catch any of the Democratic debate last night, and what was your thoughts on it?
Oh, no, I wouldn't watch that.
I had to.
I would just wait for the clips.
Yes, the highlights
that's why
or
I was
something.
asking somebody, what did he say about 17? Yeah, no, I'm not going to sit through that. I mean, I'd rather lance a bull.
Awesome.
But, yeah, no, in the last week I've been like, I am celebrating. I see this coming.
Yes.
It's going to be bad. But, I mean, we've known about this stuff. It's not like a surprise to us. And I'm trying not to be red pilling people anally.
Yes.
Because at this point I'm like, look, this is willful. You're just being stupid, because how can you not see it?
When you have the full picture and everything going on, you see it really easily. And then you could tell where people are at that aren't in tune. So it's almost like, where do I start? How do I do this? It's actually pretty tough if you kind of are confronting people.
Yeah, anybody that's online and semi-conscious has to know deep in somewhere something's not right. I mean, they've had to know that, and the thing is, we don't know how deep it goes. We they're talking about Biden. I'm like, it's not just Biden. It's the whole group of them. It's been since like 1989. We had the CIA running our foreign affairs, and they've been ripping us off. They go blow up a place, tell us, oh my God, look at these poor people, and we send them billions of dollars, and they've installed a government that gets it back to them.
Yep.
And they're in, it's laundered through, and it's been going on for 40 years, and it's like, people, $8 trillion spent on a war. You complain about the homeless in San Francisco going to the bathroom in the streets. $8 trillion, people.
Yeah.
There wouldn't be any homeless in the United States.
Well, you just brought up like the Ukraine, and there's like Trump's phone call, which is like the very last thing to ever happen in the Ukraine was Trump's phone call. The very first thing would, if we kind of go back, would be Biden setting up his son and all that, and then everything in between. We know that that's where they were doing the DNC setup shop.
There was a first long before that. We created the revolution to put the guy in place to do the deals with Biden.
Yes.
And Soros was there, and his group was being investigated with the
Manafort was part of his group, and Manafort's the only one that went down because he got into the Trump campaign instead of Soros getting covered and everyone else. And plus, we had wasn't it like
that's how loyal they are.
$4 billion
Manafort under the bus.
Or $1.8 billion twice came up missing too of our tax dollars over there. So it's like, there's a lot to be looked at in there, and it is. It's been looked at. Yeah, it's coming.
It started with Yugoslavia and Honduras and all those places too. It started there. I mean, we destroyed nations so we could pillage them.
Yes.
And they pillaged us in the meantime. So I'm like, it's time for people to start. I'm like, we should bring back guillotines.
Heck yeah. All right.
Not pay-per-view.
Yes. All right, Thumper. We're gonna get to one more phone call. You got any shout outs other than to
Bless you.
you want to give shout outs to anybody in the other than Jonna Brulin?
Oh no, all the mods, everybody. You know, I've been around since y'all came online, so I'm looking for somebody to talk about you.
All right. No, we appreciate it.
I think it was February of 18.
Yeah. No, that's about right. That's about right. So, all right. Well, God bless you.
I've been out here floating around. All right. God bless y'all.
All right. We'll talk to you next time. All right. Bye.
Bye, hon. Oop.
Washington
caller.
State. Go ahead. This is the Patriot Hour.
Michael, and hey, we got Woodman, Airborne.
What's going on, brother?
Airborne, brother.
Not much. I was the one you guys actually hung up on earlier on accident. I'm so glad I got through. I want to get you guys' take on the whole tribunals going on. Well, supposedly going on. You know, you have what happened in John McCain. He died, and you had Bush Sr. die, and then McCain said on TV, you know, hey, you can't kill him twice. And then there's that little report kind of trickling down about what happened to Obama over there at Gitmo. So what's your guys' take on all that?
I have followed it all. I'll say real quick before, and then I'll let Woodman. I have been following that. I haven't reported on much since McCain because it's just so unverifiable. Being in the military myself for the amount of years, I know if there are tribunals, like we're not going to know until that's disclosed.
You're not going to slip it out. I know. Trust me. I already knew that. They would not slip that at
disclosure.
all.
We'll get it through disclosure. So other than that, it leaves it to that. It's really interesting. Some of it is really hugely.
But if it is truly going on right now at this moment, then we know Trump's been moving, under the scenes through Q and that whole movement. What's really going on? If they've had all this information, then the tribunals are working fast, hard, and heavy.
Yeah, I would agree.
That's why they expanded Gitmo a couple years ago. But how long do you think a tribunal courts would take? Because we haven't had one since it was World War II. How long do you think that proceeding would take before they'd give the disclosure or the small salt leak to us?
Well, I mean, I don't think that stuff.
I don't know.
If they're putting people like Obama or McCain, I think it would be after everything else that would, that wouldn't be the first thing to start talking about now before they even do other things to. Because I think the whole delay or the different delays that we've had, or if there has been any, if this is all actually 100% timed, was like we had some 11th hour testimony on the IG reports, like in June with Christopher Still, and that delays things.
Right, they pushed the IG report back a little bit.
My biggest thing is Trump is aware and smart. Like he knows people like you, me, we're awake, we're aware, but it's not us that they're concerned about. They're concerned about the ones that do like watch CNN religiously, because I think those networks will tell people.
I've met a few of them where I work out. This state right here is totally liberal, so I don't dare speak to a lot of people out here. They're, luckily my family, my wife, they're all on the Trump train. He's, a legal immigrant, owns his own business, doing really good for himself, and he vouches for the veterans. I spent 6 years in myself, so that's why I give you guys props for what you're doing right now.
Thank you, brother, for serving.
Love what you guys do. And that lady earlier, man, she was a firecracker.
Yeah, she was.
Your Patriots back you quite. We all back you up, guys. Keep doing what you're doing and don't let nobody pull you down.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. And God bless you and your family. All right.
Thank you. Every day. Thank you very much.
All right. We'll talk to you soon. Call back anytime.
God bless you, man. We're not going anywhere. God bless you, man. We're not going anywhere.
Again, we don't have no hate for anybody, even the guy that called in, and we got a little, he was laughing and maybe we could have talked it out, but I'd rather get to a good couple calls like that when we have, not like you guys just want to take nice phone calls. No, we want to talk to you guys, but we're not going to just sit here and argue and make a soap opera here. Again,
different time for that.
Like that was a great conversation. He brought up tribunals. You don't think anything's happening there. Obama talked nothing but about shutting it down and never did. And Trump invested a lot of tax dollars into it. They upgraded the damn thing, a couple of new buildings. I've looked at the aerial photos. There's a lot going on over there. So what is going on? Why are they making all this room and improvements and updating the facilities when they were supposed to be shut down and done? according to the last administration. So,
by the way, tribunals people, they don't get carried on for a year or two.
No, they're a quick process. But if you have a lot of people to go through, they're sometimes done in a day, but at the most
it's
a week,
quick,
2 to 3 days, right, Woodman?
It's real quick.
It's a process, and if they're doing a bunch of people or anything, we would not know about that unless this isn't your typical it'll leak out like the CIA. This is a little different with the military. It's not an organization like those. You just don't get it. It will not be known unless.
Well, for one, it'd be too much for too many average person to digest. I mean, you think about that. You and I, Mike, is different. We're veterans. Any veteran would be able to handle that. I don't know about the average person. That's quite a bit to digest. First of all, you have to explain to them how that could be possible, because they've seen so much fake news all their life and didn't go through what we did to understand how just because certain things happen you never see on the news. I'll put it that way. Certain things happen that for a fact because you were there, never hits the news. I'll put it that way.
And I read an article, like there's been some arrest with these people connected to the Clinton Foundation heavily. There's a lot of things that just seem to be kind of coming down to a pretty big boom, getting ready to kind of go off here, folks. I mean, again, we're not trying to
you can only hide it for so long.
Cite anything either, but this is what we've been talking about for 2 years. I mean, we know that it's got to be like a 70 to 80% clean out of DC. 70 to 80% of the people need to be gone. There's only probably 20 to 30% that are untainted, legitimate people that are just newer, been there a few years, haven't been blackmailed, haven't been there too long to start abusing the system or being blackmailed by other counter constituents on Friday nights at some party. Who knows? But folks, there is a lot coming down. My own theory on this, and I'll say that right before a little disclosure, my own theory is if you have been following along with everything, the whole Q stuff, to me it seems like we had a starting point and then it kind of dropped a bunch of information and then it kind of caught up to real time. Q posts are kind of giving us this, that, look at this. And now we're kind of to the tail end of it where we're not hearing anything more, but it almost looks like we're entering into how the original post started, all right, which is mass arrest and people going down. Here we are. I don't know, but it just seems like there's too much getting ready to come out. Too much. And if nothing happens, then
well,
I don't know what I will do, because that would be huge for me. Everything that we know now at this point, if we don't have some kind of justice, if we don't have some kind of fair rule of the law, to me the Constitution is garbage. It would be I don't know what else I would say. How much hope I would have for any kind of justice to ever happen if justice does not happen with everything we've been following along with. The hugest hoax in the history of our country has just happened in front of us. There was a huge system set up overseas working with foreign governments. We're talking highest levels of treason, highest levels of sedition, total chaos, total made up hoax, and somebody's got to pay for that. Otherwise, I find it for myself very hard to move on. I think a lot of people would find it hard to move on and have restored faith. They got to restore faith at this point, And I don't think it's up to anyone to restore faith to us. It's almost like we almost need to clean out the system. And this is one way to try it, by shining the light on it and getting a lot of people to know about it. That would be the most, civil way that I would impose. It's doing it without gun. It's doing it, hopefully by law. I mean, that's why everyone's like, what's taking Trump so long? He should have got in there on day one and arrested some people. Well, Trump don't arrest people. He don't carry a pair of cuffs. Well, he should have ordered his FBI to go do it. Well, he looked at the FBI. They were all corrupt. He had to get rid of them. He had to get rid of a lot of key people, right, Woodman? And the heads of every agency.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the way we read it.
The hard way.
Yeah.
The right way or the hard way.
And and then if you have a bunch of bad people, you have a bunch of bad people left behind, and they're watching you to see if you'll break the law, so then they can ham you up on something. I mean, every step of the way, they're making up fake crimes because they don't have real ones. So if they had a real one, by God, you know they run with it.
Right on, brother. Right on.
They would run with it.
Right on.
So
yeah.
So big events possibly coming up.
You know, it's really a shame, but I just think with President Trump being in place in this point in time was really a milestone for the United States of America, because this is our president of our United States calling out evil, corrupt government, which we've had since I've been alive. And he's not part of that team. He doesn't belong. He doesn't have a key to the executive room, and he's draining the swamp. And they don't like it because all their goodies are going out the window. And he's been fighting everything up on an uphill battle, and he hasn't stopped, and he won't stop, and he's doing that for us. And I hope everybody understands that. He's not a politician, everybody. You know, he's there for us, just hanging there.
He doesn't have the history of 30 years.
So. Yeah. You know, if you go into government, you say, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and change this, change that. You've been there for 40 years. And what has happened? Have you made a change to where things are positive? No. Look at President Trump. People, we have billions coming in terrorists alone. Billions with a B. And before he became president, that was nullified and gone, man. That's one point. Think about that. The lowest unemployment rate in history for everybody, white or Caucasian, black or African American.
And it's not that you have to sit here and point all this out to. You don't have to point all this out to these people because they know it. But I would say the bigger thing to point out is, like you said, we got billions coming in tariffs. And you're like, how can that be bad? How can anyone ever make that to be bad? Well, the media has done it. They make articles and say, look, he's getting, frinkly little billions into the tariff. But we already get $4 trillion from this. And they show, the number they get. Well, that's because they tax everybody here with this illegal tax system that we shouldn't even have. And people read that article and they're thinking, yeah, we already get $4 trillion, dumb Trump. But what the article's not telling you, and what they've not twisted on you, is that that's your tax dollar, and Trump's taking it from foreign countries that, and then people can get into the mechanics. Well, when he raises it there, then we get raised on goods and it costs us more. They'll tell you everything to make it look like it's bad. But tariffs were supposed to be the only way the government ever had money, was we don't pay. We're all kings. We all have a little property. We pay a very little bit of tax, but the rest comes from foreign people, and we tax the hell out of them, and we live like kings. But somehow it's been flipped. We pay 40% in taxes now. And as Trump tries to get coffers, because you can't even talk about not paying taxes, this is why Trump really wants the border to be secure, because once we go to a non-tax, you don't think everyone and their brother is going to want to run into this country because now we're a tax-free place. You need to have a border to do that kind of stuff. Just like if you want to tax a population, you need to have a border. But the bigger thing is once we go this tax-free route, everybody will try to come here. So you don't know what's going on because you haven't been paying attention, folks. Not most of you here, but if anyone's watching that hasn't been, where do we get our information? Well, we follow along. We look at tons of information. And
it'll be a happy land. We're striving for a happy land. Happy land.
And once
happy
you do
land.
this long enough, you just start being able to listen to people and say that's bullshit and that's a lie. You can see it clear as day. You can see the evil working versus the good, and it's just too easy. Those of you that are really confused and don't know what's going on is because you haven't paid attention, and that's all it really boils down to. I'm proud of so many people here tonight in this chat room, in the live feed. You guys are the best. A lot of you are some of the greatest patriots we ever had the chance to come across, and I applaud you in your journey. You've made it. We're just a few days out, I believe, a few weeks out from some huge changes. Again, I'm not big on dates, so but just when you get to the store, maybe the next few days, get some extra waters, get a few extra things just in case. I don't know where you're located. I think the biggest concern Trump has, and the reason we've had this for 2 years, is to truly try to wake up as many people as possible. Because when that fake news tells you that Trump's a military dictator, you need to get out there to those streets and take to the streets and fight back. That's what Trump's trying to avoid. All of us know better. We're not pissed that these people are getting arrested. Are you going to be pissed when you see these people in cuffs? Some people are going to be, and the media is going to tell them people to probably revolt. That'll be the biggest final straw thing that they do, is trick a bunch of people into getting hurt. So you guys are smart. You've been paying attention. I applaud you. God bless each and every one of you. Woodman, you got anything you want to throw out there?
Wow. Huh. How could I come behind that statement? Holy cow, man.
I'm riled up. That caller got me. Just joking.
Yeah, God bless everybody. Thank you for the call-ins. We're not done doing that, by the way. And also, I want you all to understand, no matter what avenue that we have to go through, of course, I don't do it. Mike does. I'm just here for support. But whatever avenue we have to go through to keep giving out the truth, we're going to do it, because the truth is worth it, everybody. We know how fake news is. Believe me, we all know that. That's why we do this. We don't do it. I don't get paid. Mike don't get paid. Whatever money that trickles in goes into equipment. We don't get paid for this. We're doing that for all you patrons, because we love each other, man. And we know you do the same if you're capable. I didn't even know how to turn a computer on a year ago. Thanks to Mike, I'm on here talking to you all. Here against my point too. Get out, expand your mind a little bit, like I had to be on the show, because I couldn't be in Mike's studio all the time. So, yeah, buddy, brothers and sisters, hold hands, share your knowledge, share your truth. If you see something, say something. My Lord, if it wasn't for God and country, we would be just like the rest of the world, man, up the shit creek without a paddle. I pray for each and every one of you, and I even pray for our enemies. I hope they change their minds about things they're doing. Our veterans, or I can't say veterans, our troops on the lines, front lines, I can't stress this enough. They're actually going through pure hell, man. When you don't know if you have another 30 seconds to go, or 30 days, or 30 months, you have no idea. And when life is cut short over there, it's permanent, people. Pray for these people and their families, both the Blue Star and Gold Star families. Please pray for them, and the veterans, like I say. And let's just thank God for Mike and Ben and Scott and American Joe and Doug Ducote, Lions Republic, everybody that History B, DM, whoever, Amy, Watch for Warrior, whoever push these things out.
Simone, Danielle, all the mods, all the Patriots.
Yeah, we do. This is a very team effort. All we all done was just crawled on board to the same thing. It just happens to be more than just one or two of us.
A lot of people, how did you get the channel going? I was like, well, we started out, we had just no agenda other than to promote freedom, liberty, and tell the truth. And, you know, we've been wrong. We will admit it if we're wrong. We don't try to, like, give out information like, you know, like CNN where it's contrived. Like, I don't care what the truth is here, just put this out. No, we follow along. We've always say in intelligence gathering, you're going to read a lot of bad things and you're going to read bad articles. Some of it you got to file in one ear but there's always sometimes a little truth nestled in. And we do a lot of that pre-screening before we do the art. That way it's, you know, it's not just garbage, but we've been more right than wrong. All of us. All right. We've been more right and wrong in this process. Nobody could ever take that from you. You guys have seen it. We now know for a fact we've all been vindicated. CNN is 100% contrived. I mean, it is bad. They do not belong to be the press. They don't belong to, you know, they don't deserve to be considered the press or have press badges. Not when you're working like that. That's bad. That's bad for the country. Talk about division and lies. So, all right, I am done ranting on that. We'll be back tomorrow. Are we going to do the breakfast thing in the morning there, Woodman?
So what time you want to meet down there?
We'll probably meet around, you know, a little after 8 because that's about as quick as I can get there. So, you know, me, about 8:10, 8:15-ish, I'll be there. So,
okay. I'll wait in the parking lot for you.
Sounds good.
All right.
All right, you guys, Woodman, brother, and all of you Patriots out there, again, I'm going to encourage you to think and do all your own research. We'll bring you things, but don't ever take what we say or anybody. Always do your own research and come to your own conclusions based off all the facts. Woodman, brother, good night.
Patriots, good evening. Sleep tight. Have sweet dreams, and see you tomorrow.
We'll see you tomorrow. We'll see you back here on the Patriot Hour. You guys have a great one, and remember, never give anything away for free to the idiots. That's none of your rights, all right? No free speech, no Second Amendment. You know, you want to hold on to everything. You give something away to idiots, it's really hard to get back, and we don't want to, you know, no more. Stand your ground.
No more. Done deal.
Done deal.
Airborne.